See all the accolades here. They were 10.5 games out on June 1st. 10.5 games. It was the Mets division. Since that date, the Atlanta Braves are 78-33. That is a pace over 162 to win 114 games.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, the way they're playing since June 1st, Alex, this is the best team in baseball.
Yeah, well, easily. And that pace you were just talking about right there, that record, I mean, tells you that it's more about them and the way they were playing rather than how the Mets were playing. Because the Mets were playing good baseball, too. The Braves were just playing better. And, I mean, there was a conversation to be had there. We were talking about the Mets being the best team in the NL East for a while, but it's not the case anymore.
There was a graphic that was on earlier watching Brian Kenny and the guys. The Mets had a winning record every month this year.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's not like they had one of those months where they were 12 and 18.
Well, they fell apart. Yeah, they didn't fall apart.
No, the Braves beat them.
And
the
even
Braves beat them.
Even in that series in Atlanta with the Mets, I mean, they were good games. It wasn't like the Mets threw a clunker in there and they lost 10-1 in one of the games. Like they just got beat.
The Mets won 100 games.
Right.
And lost the division.
And they had set up for the last 10 days, that rotation, that it was going to be DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They had that thing mapped out to go ahead and hang on and win the division, and the Braves fell behind in every one of those games and came back and won those games.
I'm going to tell you what, the Braves have been the most disrespected champs ever.
You might be onto something.
I'm serious. This was a great club last year. They're better this year. They are better. They're younger. They're going to continue to go for a long time.
Wouldn't you say it's because of the Freddie Freeman saga?
The Freeman saga,
They
but
won
also
the World Series, and we're all going, what are the Braves doing? Alex Anthopoulos, how could you? Freddie's Mr. Brave. Like, it was a negative story before they defended their World Series crown.
That, and also the Mets got Scherzer and DeGrom. You know, and we went, you don't beat those two. And I'm still thinking, as they go to the postseason, the Mets still have a favor. If those guys pitch, they got a shot to win. But the disrespect of the Braves, this is the best ran team right now in baseball. I mean, you can make an argument for the Dodgers, clearly. But I think front office to players to who they bring up every year out of the minor leagues, the only team that can even come close to matching that is the Dodgers. But the Braves system right now may be the best in the sport.
Well, they've caught up to the Dodgers.
They have clearly caught up. And they're not spending the money the Dodgers are spending. And what they've done now.
Well, in a different way.
In a different way. But it's different. It's not that big of money. What they've been able to do to get Acuna for $100 million.
Harris, $7 million.
What they've done is shrewdly lock up their young guys. Austin Riley's $210 million. You wait another year, he's $300.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
Well, that's the biggest difference, though. But on the other argument, though,
30-something.
The other argument, though, is that's a two-way street. You got to have players that are willing to do that too, and not take their chance in free agency.
Absolutely.
You know,
I
they say
agree
this in
with
the NCAA tournament all the time: follow the chalk, so the higher-seeded teams will play each other. Could you imagine? We got the number 1 seed, the Dodgers, playing the number 2 seed, the Atlanta Braves, right in the NLCS. Kenley Jansen on the mound, Game 7. Facing Freddie Freeman with the bases loaded.
You know, I'm not going to put this.
Could you imagine?
I'm not going to put this past because you've actually had some pretty good success. You've been hot this year. You have been hot this year. I'll give you that.
I'm just saying, could you imagine if that happened? You throw something at me?
Yeah, you do.
I'll throw something at you later. Hey, Greg Maddux with this Hall of Famer. Even after 2 decades, it's still nice to see the Braves beat the New York Mets. Congrats, Atlanta. The Mad Dog getting it in there.